All right, we're laser focused here on Tropical Storm Lala, the storm set to bring direct impacts, as we were just talking about, to all of the Hawaiian Islands. Let's bring in someone who's familiar with Hawaiian topography, bad weather happening there, all kinds of it. Fox Weather senior correspondent Robert Ray, he joins us now by phone. Robert, you were there back in 2024 for Hurricane Hone, and earlier this year for the Kona Lows. Those were terrible. Anytime that you have tropical moisture being forced up the terrain that Hawaii has, it becomes a problem. So what are your thoughts with what's to come moving into this weekend?
Yes. Well, yeah, good afternoon to you. Indeed, there is a huge problem on the way to the Hawaiian Islands. And, I'm actually, unfortunately not on the islands. I'm on my way to bring my daughter to college. But in my experience, Ian, in the past few years of being to the Hawaiian Islands so many times, not only for Hurricane Hone 2 years ago, but the Kona Lows, and then most recently, just quite literally 2 weeks ago, with Fausto that's tracked to the north, you've got this incredible topography and landscape and the mountains, and then you have the desert sides, and you have rainforest. And when a system like this is tracking right toward the Hawaiian Islands, and boy, the big island, Hawaii, is going to take some serious impacts on this, regardless of wind speed or anything of that matter. And you just think about it, upwards to 14,000 feet in elevation, and you have incredible amounts of rain, potential between 2 to 3 feet, maybe even more in some isolated areas. And that is going to cause significant mudslides and landslides with all that rain, and roads that will absolutely be compromised. I'll give you an example, okay? When I was in Oahu, just back in March, when I was covering the Kona Lows, I was leaving the North Shore and heading down the side of the island to Honolulu. And about 2 to 3 inches of rain fell in a matter of about an hour and a half. And I have to tell you, Ian, the roads were completely shut down, impassable. And there was water coming down the sides of mountains. You really could not get anywhere. You could see the vegetation deteriorating on the sides of the mountains. Very dangerous scenario. So when you think about this system, Lala, that is coming across and may make a landfall, right? Could potentially make that landfall, the first one since 1992. Well, I mean, all of that rain is going to sit and twist over the Big Island and then move its way into the other islands, the other 7, the next up. But with that high elevation and the winds kicking through some of those valleys, and then on the ground side where, we're probably too worried about storm surge per se because of the topography of Hawaii, but the push of those waves and swells that could be 40, 50 feet out into the waters, this is super dangerous. I can't stress that enough, truly. And I experienced it firsthand, even more than Hone 2 years ago with the Kona Lows in March. And then you realize just how fragile some of the topography there is. I mean, it's gorgeous, but it's just a lot of different ecosystems involved, in kind of a small area with high elevation. And any of that water that falls from the atmosphere, it's got to go down, right? It's got to go somewhere. And so, for example, when I experienced Hone 2 years ago on the Big Island, which Hone was, 45, 50 miles to the south of the southern point of, the Big Island, where Hilo is, those rivers just blew up and incredibly fast water. That was 2 feet of rain, roughly. And actually, let me back that up. Somewhere between 12 inches and 2 feet. Just depends on where you were at in some of the isolated areas. But we're talking about way more than 2 feet in some of these areas. So I can't say enough about how people just need to be very careful. And I would not be surprised to see big-time impacts and implications in the aftermath of Lala coming across the islands, Ian.
Yeah, Robert, just looking at some of the video, those rivers were rushing big time, both of the events that you showed us. And I was just thinking about during your reporting and what you said there, the calling that you have in this business, the passion you have for what you do. Nothing trumps dad duty. I love it and I respect it, and there will be another
Thank
one,
you.
and we're going to see you for that one. That's Fox Weather Senior
Indeed.
Correspondent Robert Ray. Robert, we'll see you soon. Thank you.